Chocolate nut clusters are a crowd pleaser, especially around the holidays. They look impressively fancy, but are really easy to make. I'm Marcy McDonald with Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. Today, Shonna Zimmermann, Remote Homestead Accomplice, will demonstrate how to make these tasty candies.
We're going to start with a very simple one. Chocolate almond clusters. How much do you like these?
So much!
They're really super easy, and she's going to love it, and she's going to be making them from now on out. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with, depending on how many you want to make, a cup or two of roasted almonds. The trick is that you have to have the almonds hot. So what I've done is I've started the oven at 175 degrees. We're just going to put them on a cookie tray and stick them in the oven while the chocolate coating gets made. So we'll just put them in here. If you don't have the almonds hot, you've got your melted chocolate, you put in room temperature almonds, the chocolate will actually go into thermal shock and get really clumpy. It's gross.
Oh,
okay.
Shonna, do you know why that happens?
Why? It's because it cools down too quickly and it just freezes.
Chocolate seizes when even a tiny amount of liquid causes the sugar to form a syrup and the cocoa particles to stick together. The moisture in cold almonds is quickly converted to steam when added to the hot chocolate. This is not a desirable outcome.
Now, there's two ways of doing the coating. I like to use almond bark. It's called almond bark. There's no almonds in it. I don't know why they call it almond bark. Comes in a couple different flavors. It is chocolate flavored, but we can't actually call it chocolate because it doesn't have cocoa butter in it. To be called chocolate, it has to have cocoa butter, and they've replaced it with vegetable oils, which makes it melt so much easier and makes it a much better coating. I like to use this. But you can use regular chocolate.
Oh.
If you were to use regular chocolate chips, what you have to do is melt them and start adding a little bit of coconut oil or cocoa butter to thin it out. Chocolate, just plain chocolate, is too thick as a coating, and so it just gets all done. So a little bit at a time, you'll use a solid at room temperature oil, like coconut oil, and then you'll put it in the double boiler. But we're going to use almond bark today. We're going to use about half of this package. And if you would just take this knife and just chop it into, half pieces.
Okay.
While she's doing that, I'm going to take a cookie tray and very lightly oil it with just regular cooking oil.
So can you just buy this at the store?
Yes, you get any grocery store, you find it in the baking aisle.
So you always make it with almond bark, right? You don't
I prefer it just because it's easier and there's no guesswork. The problem with using chocolate and oils is that every chocolate is a little different, and so there's not a set amount of, saying 1 pound of chocolate chips and 1 tablespoon of oil. It varies so much that I prefer to use almond bark.
Almond bark is one particular kind of what is known as compound chocolate. As Shonna said, it has vegetable oil instead of cocoa butter, which makes for easy melting and a shiny finish. Locally, our usual grocery store does not actually carry almond bark, but they do have candy melt. I grabbed a screenshot from a national chain store as an example. Candy melts come in a variety of flavors, including milk or dark chocolate. I have seen them at craft stores as well as online.
So this cookie sheet has been just lightly sprayed with regular vegetable oil. When the almond clusters are done, we're going to be putting them on this to cool, and we just don't want them to stick.
Is that good?
Yeah, just chop that one in half.
That's good.
Okay. So the most specialized piece of equipment you're going to need is a double boiler, which is just a pot full of boiling water and a special little pot that sits on top of it that keeps the heat from the boiling water circulating to the bottom of this pan. The beauty of the double boiler, it controls the temperature. Because water boils at 212 degrees, you're not going to get too much hotter than 200 to 215 degrees, so you can't accidentally scorch the chocolate.
Oh.
But you do have to make sure that there is water and it doesn't boil off.
How much of the chocolate did you use?
I used about half of the package, and we've got about a cup or so of almonds. There will be links in the description to all the recipe. So
So do you need the special pot on top?
well, you can just use 2 saucepans that fit together.
Can I do that?
Yes, you absolutely can. Just as long as they don't either get stuck or so small that it falls in. You want a little bit of venting so it doesn't get,
Oh,
the steam built up. But honestly, yeah, 2 saucepans, like a mixing bowl.
oh, you could use like your little metal bowl.
This double boiler belongs to my mother-in-law. Shonna's version with the vents on the side works a little bit better. Mom's sometimes traps the steam. It still works great to melt chocolate. I only mention it as a minor thing to look for when looking to purchase a double boiler. I don't have a double boiler, but I do have a saucepan and metal work bowl that work just fine. This saucepan has pour spouts that work nicely to vent the steam from the boiling water like Shonna's double boiler. This metal work bowl sits firmly on top without danger of tipping off.
You just don't want to heat chocolate directly over a burner. Not only can the temperature get away from you real quickly and it scorches, but it's also uneven heating. So it's already melting. Almond bark melts fast.
That's nice. Did you do it with Pyrex?
Pyrex is pretty heat resistant, so yeah, you could absolutely use that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Nice and smooth. So if you're doing the chocolate chips and coconut oil or cocoa butter, this is the kind of consistency you're going to be looking for. This is thinner than just melted chocolate. So that is almost melted already. Just a couple little lumps. So I'm going to get the almonds out of the oven.
Do you want me to give them out?
All right. So now that it's all melted, I'm going to turn down the temperature to low because I don't want it to keep heating up and boiling. But we are ready to put almonds in. Ready?
Now they're just like warm.
They're pretty hot. I can touch them, but they're not room temperature. They're very warm. So we're just going to pour them on in.
Put them in there.
Just straight on in. Stir, stir, stir. Until they're coated. I used toasted almonds for this, but you could use cashews, you can use pecans, you could use peanuts, you could use just about anything. And now, grab that spoon right there. Here, you get to lick that.
Thank you, Shonna.
And we just pour them out in little puddles. I see you eyeing them, but you have to let them cool at least 15 minutes.
Only 15 minutes?
At least.
Oh.
We could stick them in the refrigerator to cool them quickly. Now we can put the rest on the next pan. So if you would grab that and just spritz it with a little of the cooking oil that's behind me. Also, it helps to have some extra nuts on hand just in case you've melted more chocolate than you thought you did. Don't let it go to waste.
Yeah, put nuts in there.
Yeah.
Did you rub it around with a paper towel?
It's okay.
Okay.
And that is it.
That was it?
That's it.
Wow. That was like
Deceptively easy.
deceptively simple.
You thought I was making something special all this time. It's like, no.
I said it was better than C's.
The backstory is I got a little carried away. I found a really good deal on almonds. A really, really, really good deal on almonds. I bought 25 pounds of almonds. I did not know what to do with 25 pounds of almonds. I started making candy. I started bringing it in. And I was asked to teach how to make candy.
I started eating it.
Yes. Well, I'm really glad you liked it.
I was so happy you found that deal.
Yeah.
And if you find it again, now that I know how to make it,
Well,
you can let me know.
buy some for you. Okay, so those are almond clusters. We're going to set them in the refrigerator to harden up, and we're going to move on to another treat.
I hope you enjoyed Shonna's demonstration. This is the first part of a series of candy making videos from our first ever Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading class. We try to demystify things a bit so you can give making chocolate nut clusters a try. Our next video will show how to make candied almonds. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.